Hello, this is Matt Caddo, Senior Fellow in Public Policy with the American Kratom Association. I'm reaching out to you today by way of this video at the request of the AKA Chairman, Matt Salmon, who asked me to describe some of the projects that we're currently involved in preserving and protecting consumer access for Kratom in the United States. He asked me to do this because he knows that as we often reach out to you for contributions to support our efforts, you may not know everything that we're involved in, and he thinks you should, because we need your support now more than ever, even in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. I spent the morning working the phones trying to identify new sponsors for the Federal Kratom Consumer Protection Act. That legislation will restrict the overregulation by the FDA when it comes to Kratom. It is critically important for us to win that battle at the federal level. But in the interim, we are trying to get the State Kratom Consumer Protection Act passed in as many states as possible. And but for the interruption of the coronavirus, we likely would have had over a dozen of those states passing that legislation today. But there are some states that are still active, and I've been working with legislators in Rhode Island, Michigan, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to educate and promote the Kratom Consumer Protection Act. Just yesterday, a letter was sent to the FDA Commissioner, Stephen Hahn, from Senator Kurt Bramble of Utah, Representative Jones of Georgia, Representative Wheeler of Nevada, and Representative Rivero of Arizona. Those names, while you may not know them individually, were the sponsors of the first 4 states to pass the Kratom Consumer Protection Act. And the letter was sent to Commissioner Hahn based on comments that he recently made about the CBD marketplace, where he correctly characterized the regulation on CBD as being a fool's errand because it's being used by so many people. And it wasn't that the product is unsafe, but rather we need to learn more about it, to do more research. And that, of course, is our goal. So we're hopeful that Commissioner Hahn will not have the bias that former Commissioner Gottlieb had and will listen to us. And that is an important project that we're working on right now. Critical to all of these efforts is a study plan that we're developing now for what is known as an LD50 study. That determines the toxicity of Kratom and what the safe level of Kratom would be for Kratom consumers. When we arrive at that data, it will prevent the FDA from the large part of their inaccurate and frankly, incorrect information that they're disseminating about the safety profile of Kratom. We are nearing the completion of a Kratom Save Lives video campaign that will tell the passionate stories of Kratom consumers. It will be a paid media campaign where we will place advertisements, but we'll also have a very aggressive campaign to place it throughout social media platforms so that we can educate people and let them see the power of these passionate testimonies of people whose lives have been changed for the better or saved because of Kratom. We're also negotiating with Marathon Oil and other convenience store outlets to allow Kratom sales that are currently banned because the FDA is wrong on the policy and wrong on the science. Some of you may have heard of the success we had with Shell Oil, which was a major decision that was made by them to lift the ban that they currently had on Kratom products for sale in their convenience stores and gas stations. We want that to be a precedent-setting event, and we're working hard to get it done. We're currently organizing the Kratom Consumer Council in 435 congressional districts across America and all 50 states. We're working on training videos and the leave behind documents that will ask these great advocates to share with elected officials at the city, the county, and the borough level, and with their state legislators, and with their congressional representatives of both the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. We want to educate these policymakers about the real science of Kratom, about its safety, and how it is effectively working as an alternative pain management therapy as an option for opioids, which we know have a very deadly safety profile. We want that message to get out, and that's the design of the Kratom Consumer Council. I work every day on interviews with reporters about the Kratom story, and many of you may have seen, and if you haven't, you should, the Great Falls, Montana story, which is evidence that when we present this kind of information to reporters, that they listen. And we work every day to do that. I commend the reporter in Great Falls, Montana, who listened and gave a very balanced story about Kratom. Finally, one of our major projects is working with the National Conference of State Legislatures on an education campaign on what Kratom truly is, its safety profile, and how it is helping people. Those are the kinds of projects that the contributions that you make to the American Kratom Association makes a difference on a daily basis. Our appeals to you are for legitimate projects that really will make a difference in the efforts that we are undertaking on your behalf. We hope that you'll be as generous as you can. We know that these are difficult times, both in terms of health and the economics. We pray for you every day about the safety of your family, and we hope that you'll be able to support us on an ongoing basis in the efforts that we're done. Thank you. Thank you for each Kratom advocate for all that you do for the community, for telling the story, for spreading the message. Thank you for the contributions that you make that allow us and empower us to have these important education campaigns and the scientific research that we're doing. And thank you for your support as a Kratom advocate as we go forward. We will work every day to protect and preserve access of consumers to safe, unadulterated Kratom products. And so I look forward to joining with you as we continue in this battle against the FDA to the ultimate victory that will be ours if we work together and share in the burden that comes with all of these projects. Thank you for all that you do.